say welcome to Uninfluenced in 30 seconds.
Perfect. What if that intro play out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Zach?
I'm the most ready. Absolutely.
Are you ready for @Zach's sister in the chat room?
Who was that? Did we figure out who that was?
No, but I want to know. That's my hero.
Kudos. Yeah,
awesome.
it's a good move.
Oh man, God created a fucking mouse. You wish you never would have brought her up.
So what's my move, Mike? How do I get out of this?
You don't. Well, you don't by trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when somebody fucks with you. Like if you make it not fun,
Yeah.
then people will stop doing it. You know, the more like you try to fight it, the more people are gonna be like, "Oh, that bothers you," you know, and they'll just keep fucking poking.
I know.
But now that you brought it up on the show, people are going to know
Well,
that you're trying to make it.
Well, he's also the editor, though.
Yeah, people. That's true. No, I'll leave this in. People know, man. Like they can get at me in the comments.
It's like half.
Sure.
I'm almost embarrassed to say it's like half the show now.
Yeah, it's turning into it really quickly. She's gonna find out at some point, and
I think you should just let her know.
Yeah.
No,
I think
no. You think I should add fuel to this fire? That's
Yeah,
what
I think you should bring her on the show.
I think she would.
Put her in the hot seat.
At some point, maybe she'll be in town. We could probably.
Yeah, we'll pull the bike in between us. That way she has something to straddle during the entire.
I mean, at this point, like it feels inevitable.
Yeah.
we got it right.
We
Like,
could
gotta
put
get her on
a
at
purple
some
saddle
point.
horn on it
Yeah, okay.
that vibrates.
A 3-foot Intimidator strap on.
Y'all are sweet.
We're givers.
You are. It's true.
It's like the guy commenting, I don't like y'all's new mics. Y'all look like you're doing infomercials, and a couple minutes later you actually show why we went this way so you can move your hands and show shit.
Yeah.
You imagine trying to do that with the Shure mic. Okay, guys, so this is what you're going to do.
It look like I'm speed bagging the fucking
it's true.
the dildo mic.
Yeah.
I'll have it back for the mic drop
Right.
shows,
Yeah.
which we're doing one tomorrow. So
And for those of y'all that don't know, the mic drop actually is right behind Mike.
it's right there.
That's right.
And something new's happening, right? So the people that don't know, you started something for mic drop.
Yeah. Well, so it's kind of for everything. I mean, it'll be a lot of mic drop content, but there will be some dog stuff. I mean, it's really it's a Patreon page for kind of everything that I have going on. So we'll do, like I said, a lot of behind the scenes mic drop stuff, interaction with the guests, stuff that we do before and after the show. You know, may throw some car or bike stuff in there, just some kind of day in the life type shit of some of the things that I do. You know, maybe some stuff out with all the dogs, the Warrior Dog Foundation, you know, just really trying to have kind of a one-stop shop for everybody that's asking about all the different components of all the ridiculous shit that I have going on. So that launches today as we record. So when you see this, it'll have been out for a few days. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're excited to bring it to you. A lot of people have been asking for all that stuff. So. Like I said, we just wanted to have one spot that we could do that. So
Yeah. A lot of good benefits in there.
Yeah.
Got some good stuff. You can get behind the scenes videos. We're talking about a 1 hour Q&A.
yeah,
Which we still need to work out the back end of, but I think we can do it with what we've got here. This all seems capable.
My
Good
back
stuff.
end's
Merch, coupon codes. It's gonna be cool, man. I'm excited to dig in and kind of talk to the people. Outside
Can we
of
put the
YouTube.
link like right in here?
Yes, I'll put
And
it
then-
down there.
a point.
Yeah.
Just
In the
you
description.
click it right up here.
We got to get better.
You're
Like,
making my job really hard right now. Yeah. All right.
we got to
Just click right here
Yeah.
to get to the link.
Yeah. There will be a link right here.
Yeah. Perfect. People are gonna love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
In the description, though, we will put a link, and from now on, our Patreon and Mike's Patreon will be all in the link of the videos and all that good shit.
Also, shout out to that shirt. Those shirts, right?
Yeah.
People can get shirts now.
Yeah. You can get shirts. It's also description below, right down here. So if you want to go down here,
Yeah,
it's right there.
Y'all are too much.
Yeah. The logo is right in this.
That's right.
right in this nether region.
Yeah. So a lot of good stuff going on, and we're wanting to bring you guys more and more content. The beauty of the Patreon stuff, and that's why the Uninfluenced has been a little lacking. We've been focusing mainly on when Mic Drop records tomorrow. This place is top notch, ready to go. That's why it's been lacking. But we want to bring you guys content that you can't get on YouTube. You know, it's if we want to go out, shoot guns, and do stupid shit, we can go do stupid shit and not be like, oh, is this going to take away from monetization or get banned or kick us off the internet, delete the whole channel? We don't want that. We want to give you guys benefits. And then on Mike's, they'll have Bible study. Those are on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Satanic rituals on Thursdays.
Yes.
That way we get both sides of the spectrum.
That's right.
We should do Tuesday satanic, Wednesday for forgiveness.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's like Lent. Yeah.
As I took someone to church yesterday, I noticed trailers all in the parking lot, and I was turning around and I was backing up. I was like, we could steal this and just tell them we're going to hope for forgiveness when we get up out this bitch. Yeah.
You guys don't mind, right?
Yeah.
You're cool with that.
Yeah.
And Jesus said I could have it.
I probably wouldn't even ask.
He was mowing my lawn. He said I could go
There's a free trailer over here.
Yeah.
Take you on faith.
Yeah. So,
So anyway, thanks for the support. Check it out. Click the link. Go fuck yourself. And
yeah. And Zach's sister.
And Merry Christmas.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby got let the fuck go. What's up with that, Zach?
What the fuck? I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with it.
To me, it's weird. I have mixed feelings on it. On the one hand, like if somebody didn't do some shit, then yeah, they shouldn't go to prison. On the same token, wasn't he convicted by a jury?
So he was convicted by a jury. He got out on a loophole. So I went and I was like, it had to be something just got fucked up, because it went through all the appeals process. Come to find out, in the state where he was tried, which I forget where the hell that was. It New York?
Yeah.
So there was the civil case, which went first, then the criminal case. The civil lawyer, which was also the DA.
District attorney.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the, what's it called, where you go in and you do all your testimony before there ain't a judge? I can't think of it right now.
The hearing?
No, it's where you go to like the lawyer and they got that bitch over there typing.
I think in some places it's just called like discovery. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a little discovery hearing. Anyways, the attorney tells him, "Hey, man, whatever you say in here will not be used against you in the criminal side.
Right.
So if you agree that you did all this in here,
right,
in the civil side, we won't mention it."
They just gave him like a hall pass, like
yeah.
anything, any crime you admit to in here, you're good. You're square. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're gonna lose some money, but criminal side, it's gone.
Right.
That's what got him out.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the testimonies from the civil side basically.
Right. So then later, the new New York district attorney tries Bill Cosby, prosecutes him, says, "Hey, you're busted." And the whole time his lawyers are like, "Wait a second. Like 2 years ago, there was this thing and this happened and he testified to all of this. So he's free to go." And that's it. He's out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a double jeopardy thing?
Yeah. And also apparently it can't be tried again for any of this. Like,
yeah, he's still convicted, but he's not
serving time.
Yeah, he's not serving the time.
Man.
Well, that's good to know, I guess.
Yeah. In Texas, it don't work that way though. I can tell you now, I pissed off a civil judge.
You think they're gonna put the Cosby sweaters back in the Smithsonian? Like, well, he's out now, right? Like, these are an element of history.
I think they should put his face back on a pudding pop. The chocolate ones for sure.
Was he ever actually featured in Puddin' Pops, or was that just a part of his
back in the day?
He like really. I remember his stand up. I mean, I used to. Man, when I was a kid, I listened to a lot of his stand up.
The commercials when we were growing up were
really
him.
In his goofy ass fucking voice,
right?
Eating a fucking pudding pop.
Sure,
yeah.
Puddin' Pop. Yeah.
That's
such a bummer. I know. Like he obviously testified in support of some other case, right? That's how this happens. They were trying to convict somebody of something back then, and they said, "Hey, we need your testimony. You come in." And I hope whatever that case was worked, and he was prosecuted fairly, right? Justice is, you got to find the straightest line through this stuff. But man, I know it's a constitutional amendment, right? That you can't get tried again for stuff like this. Like it's just the way it is, and that's a bummer. It's hard to rationalize.
I've had a lawyer once tell me the word justice means just us with money.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, there's for sure some truth to that, or a fair bit. I mean, obviously sometimes it doesn't work that way, but I would say most times it does.
Well, look at OJ.
Yeah,
oh, God.
I mean, the dude legitimately did it.
Yeah, I mean,
came out later.
OJ was a fucking freight train, best to ever do it. 11,000 rushing yards. I mean, amazing.
Well, the thing with that too, though, I think. I mean, granted, this was back. We were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
During then, so our perspective on it was probably a little bit, naive. But I think that there's at least an element of, it was not long after the Rodney King riots to where I know that there was an undertone of, if he's guilty, it's fucking bad. We're going to burn the fucking city down again, type of thing. And so I'm sure that played some fucking role in it,
Yeah.
But
and there's tons of white people do the same thing. I was just noticing that we brought up Bill Cosby and OJ. Like, those are the only two people that got away with doing some fucked up shit.
We didn't bring them
I
up.
did.
Yeah,
I did.
hold on a second.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, there's tons of fucked up shit. I mean, look at what Bernie Madoff did. Yeah, he went to fucking jail. But I mean,
Rich people jail.
yeah, he went to Club Fed.
Yeah.
You know, which isn't horrible but there's tons of rich people do some fucked up shit. And then, hey, man, you remember that time that I seen you banging your secretary, Mr. Judge?
That's right.
Remember that time I donated $4 million to your reelection campaign? You know, yeah, fucking.
Then you get people like me, say, bro, remember that time you needed 20 cents at Subway?
Yeah.
And I had it and I gave it to you?
I took a penny and I left a penny at the gas station.
The time I let you go first at that 4-way stop?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
This shit ain't going to play out.
I did you real solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's fucked up, the time I went to jail, I seen the judge who sent me to jail and at a charity thing a couple years later.
Oh, yeah?
And the motherfucker came up, you got anything you want to tell me? Bitch, fuck you. How about that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did.
Yeah, we ain't in court now, motherfucker.
That's great.
But yeah, guys, contempt of court, don't do it.
Yeah.
Less than a traffic ticket, but way more punishable.
Did you get contempt of court?
Yeah, 33 days of that shit.
What'd you do?
I told a judge that I didn't know what fucking day I sold something.
What'd you sell?
It seems
It
like
was a big case that I was in on and shit. And
Okay.
I needed to pay some bills, so I sold a set of wheels.
Okay.
And the judge was like, "What day did you do it?" Which I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, back then, when you got a text, it just said text. There wasn't no swipe over to see what
Right.
day you sent it. You know,
Yeah.
it was just text, and it took you an hour and a half to send a "Yeah, I'll take it."
You got contempt of court because you weren't aware of the day you did something?
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
did you say it like, I don't know?
I was like, "Bitch, I don't know." And what made it worse was he was like, "You know, I could give you 180 days contempt of court and all that," and I was like, "Shit, I need a vacation." I'm pretty sure that was the nail right there.
That would be
He's like, "I got you, bro."
Done.
Yeah, my lawyer's over there. Shut the fuck up.
Please stop.
Yeah.
Stop talking, Matt.
Yeah, I had a good time in jail.
33 days?
Yeah,
Any reflections? Any thoughts? I mean, I don't know.
that's
Well, you weren't like in state pen or anything.
no. I was in Dallas County, which is the 5th most dangerous jail to be in the United States. Like I seen bums stab people so they could stay longer.
Really?
Yeah, like, oh shit, it's cold outside here.
Did you have like fatigues and you wore
Fatigue.
what am I saying? Jumpsuit, right?
Hell
Fatigues,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm
I was a trustee, bro. I started a gambling ring up in there and everything.
really sold cigarettes.
It was khaki and polo.
All right.
You can't even fucking sell smoke in Dallas jails anymore.
Can you
used to
not?
be able to?
You used to be able to. Yeah, you used to be able to buy bugler and all that from the commissary. You can't do that anymore.
Man,
Yeah.
word of the wise: if you're gonna do a crime, don't do it in
Oh,
Dallas.
I ain't saying I didn't smoke in there because I smoked cigarettes back then. I still smoke.
Sure.
It just wasn't legal.
You guys seen prisoners sneaking like phones and starting TikTok accounts and making TikToks in jail? Those are the greatest. It's so great to watch.
How
Oh
the fuck
man.
do you not get caught doing that?
I don't. They always do. Eventually, the accounts get turned off. They get busted. But for like a few weeks, they'll run a TikTok account and like laugh and post videos.
I can
It's
tell
the
you-
greatest shit.
I have a friend in Club Fed right now who's got a Facebook account and all that. Facebook messages you, Facebook calls you, and
From prison. Jesus Christ.
How do you get away with this?
Dude, our prison system is so fucked. I mean, we talked about that a little bit. That 60 days in or whatever the fuck it's called. To me, it's that same shit. Watching that, I'm just like, why the fuck do these people get to do all the things that they do? I mean, to me, prison should be something that makes you not want to go back there, under any circumstance.
I would say your boot camp was harder than jail
Oh, I have no doubt it was,
because you can't have sodas and shit throughout the entire time, right?
No, fuck no. You can't do anything. Like,
Shit, that 60 days in, I know you watched the same one I did. They're buying sodas.
Yeah, soda's fucking. I mean,
Fucking
they can
Philly
make,
cheesesteak.
Yeah, they can make calls, soup,
Of
fucking.
course, they don't have jobs. You have a rent check. You don't have to worry about that. All your
I mean,
meals
sit
are
around
paid
and watch
for.
fucking movies.
Yeah, it's three hots in a cot. It's the greatest setup.
Yeah, even if you're indigent, which means no money for all you fuckers that don't know,
Yeah.
you still get nice shit. And then you can bargain shit and get sodas and all that shit out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
No, it's fucked up.
I've been grounded that was worse than that.
I know. Homeless people got it worse. Like, they don't get 3 hots and a warm place
Yeah,
to
that's
sleep.
why when they go to regular jails, they do worse shit to stay there longer.
Yeah.
Like, those are the ones you worry about when you go to jail. The homeless people that it's cold, it's hot. I'm gonna just get in a fight and stay here longer.
Yeah.
To me, there's a real easy fix to all that. That I actually talk about it in the new book, which should be out September for everybody that's been asking. Should be September release date, late September. But to me, the temperature control is an easy mechanism to keep people from fucking acting up. I mean, to me, if you took a cell and it was just big enough to lay down in, right? That's it. And you have no clothes, right? There's no blankets. There's no pillows. There's the sink toilet combination. You have just enough food to keep you alive. There's no TVs. There's no books. There's no fucking phones. There's none of that shit. And the ambient temperature in there is just high enough to keep you from being hypothermic, right? So you're on the edge. You're freezing your ass off naked all the time, right? There's nowhere to hide anything. I mean, yeah, the prison wallet, but good luck with that. Again, like there's no clothes, there's nothing. You're sleeping on the ground with no clothes on, freezing your fucking balls off. I can tell you from experience, like that environment, 2 weeks of that, and I fucking promise you, 99.9% of the people are going to say, dude, I don't give a fuck what I have to do to not go back to that. I'm not going back to that. Like, I'll tell you straight up, like when you can smoke and watch TV and get in fights and like watching these dipshits run around fucking talking about gangs this and race that, and like, I mean, it's like Big Brother on steroids. It's like fighting and bickering over fucking race and territory, and you got 2 mattresses, and dude, if you got time to fucking argue about dumb shit like that, you got too much fucking time on your hands, or you're not fucking miserable enough. I'll tell you, like, put them in that environment where they have nothing, absolutely nothing. Other than being fed just enough to be kept alive, and again, being just warm enough to not freeze to death. Yeah, that shit is fucking miserable. Like, and I'll tell you, I saw it as a SEAL instructor. Like, there is nothing that takes the piss and vinegar and fight out of somebody that's filled with it than like the fucking cold.
Oh yeah.
Like when you're miserably fucking cold, dude, there is no attitude about any fucking thing. I mean, it goes into just survival mode at that point. And the fact that we as taxpayers fucking bankroll, hundreds of fucking billions of dollars or however goddamn much money. I mean, I know it's billions.
Yeah, it's a ton.
Billions.
To house fucking people that are scourges on society. It's like, what the fuck? Like, obviously it's not working. The prison system population has exploded in the last 30, 40 years to where, like, we have the highest rate of incarceration of any country in the world. It's because prison is too fucking easy. I mean, it really is. I don't understand it. I would love to have, like, that fucking sheriff come on, he's kind of almost famous now. I can't remember his name, but
Joe Arpaio from
no,
Arizona.
the one that does the 60 days in.
Yeah,
he's the sheriff of the 60 days in prison. It's the same area. It's Tucson, I think. Tucson, Pima County Jail. So the Pima County Sheriff, I think, is who it is. But
yeah, I'll see if I can reach out.
I mean, to me, it'd be cool to get him on the show and just be like, hey, what? Like, I know there's cruel and unusual punishment clauses, which is probably going to prohibit most of that, which is a problem. But to me, that's it. I mean, and I'll even use myself as an example to not sound like a hypocrite. Let's take speeding. You guys at this point know how I feel about that. But if I got sent to jail, for speeding, and I was in that environment, I'll tell you right now, I'd stop fucking speeding.
Oh yeah.
I'd be pissed about it, but I would stop doing it. Like right now, it's just enough to piss you off.
Yeah.
But the punishment isn't severe enough to keep most people from doing it, or people wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, Dallas is the most dangerous city to drive in the country, right?
Fuck yeah! Congratulations.
Yeah, just got voted that or whatever, awarded via statistics. So, it's like with anything. I mean, if it's a problem and you want to curb it, like you have got to make the consequence commensurate with the curbing of the problem. And they just don't do it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. When I punish my kid, and I had this talk Saturday, when I punished my daughter, I never, okay, I'm going to take one thing from you.
Yeah.
No, you did some shit I didn't like. You're getting punished. I'm not just going to take one. I'm going to take everything.
I'm taking it
so
all.
I don't have to, if you learn your lesson, I don't ever have to fuck with this again.
Yeah.
And that punishment's over.
Yeah.
And while it's harsh on the kid, it's like I said to you, when we punish our kids, what kids don't understand, we're punishing ourselves too. Mm-hmm. So if you ground your kid, especially if your kid's under teenage years, say 12 and under, if you're grounded for a week, well, guess who else is fucking grounded for a week now?
Yeah, guess who has to watch your ass for
or
that
hire a
week?
babysitter.
Yeah.
So now it's costing me to punish your ass.
Sure.
But kids don't understand that because they're not adults. Yeah. Dad's just an asshole.
Yeah.
But if you go to the extreme, like you're saying with prison, and you take all that shit away right away, they're like, well, fuck, I lost everything.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that shit again. Mm-hmm. You know, some kids will rebel and do it again, like he won't do that shit again. And you back it up with a second time. Okay, fuck that. I ain't doing that again.
I mean, with kids, it's for sure different in terms of the mental maturity or lack thereof, and the frontal lobe not being developed, their inability to logic and reason, especially the younger they are. You know, so it's not, you know, completely apples to apples that way. But yeah, for sure, as they get older and they start to really understand right from wrong.
Shock collars.
Shock collars. You know, it is. I mean, there is a mechanism to say, look, here's the fucking deal. Like, if you don't stop doing this, then this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Where I think the problem is in the rules that govern people's ability to do that. You know, mm-hmm. whether it's parents or even the prison system, is that it's illegal, you know, to not let fucking prisoners do a lot of things that I just don't think should be.
Bullshit. You should lose all rights when you go to jail. I ever tell you when I grounded my daughter one time and I hear in another room she's telling her friend, don't touch that. What the fuck? And I hear, and you hear the little kid, what's wrong? Well, I'm grounded from that. We're not allowed to play with that. So essentially, I grounded her and all her friends from shit.
That's funny.
I go in there like 30 minutes later and her and her friend are just sitting on the edge of the bed just kicking their feet.
Fear of God, man. Got them scared. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, if you fuck up and you fuck up your rights and you go to jail, your rights are you have no more. Once you're in that yard, your rights are gone.
Yeah.
You're following the rules of the prison and that's it. Right. Fuck you, you don't like it. Like, how can someone be on death row for 10 years? I get the appeal process. But if you clearly did it or you admitted, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the you know, cases of it's on video, dude admitted it, you know, or like there's no question about it, there's no appeal process. Yeah, I don't get why they have to sit there for fucking 10 years, you know, waiting for it to happen. It's fucking dumb.
We should just have a pit.
My hot take is some prisons are businesses, right? And like
it's 100%
right. And for a business to function, you have to have customers, and it doesn't make sense to teach your customers to not come back for business, right? Like if they keep people.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with animal shelters. You know,
yeah.
You know, the adopt, don't shop mantra that you hear a lot of people say. You know, it's one of those things where the road to hell is paved in good intentions, and that similarly, you know, if let's say any big, you know, animal shelter that's usually full most of the time or all of the time, you know, and especially when they're connected with HSUS or ASPCA, is that if those animal shelters are now all of a sudden empty, what does that mean for the facility, for the workers, for the staff, the admin, the man, you know, and especially the higher up they get, like Wayne Pacell, who I don't know if he's still the Humane Society president or not, but I mean, that motherfucker's making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it reminds me of the Wounded Warrior Project. You know, I don't think it's that way anymore either, because people found out and made a big stink about it, which they should. You know, the founder or whoever's managing a nonprofit shouldn't be making hundreds of thousands. Right? Yeah. They do need a salary that is adequate for their talent level, and if they're operating, you know, millions of dollars of you know, of revenue via donations, I mean, you do need people that know what they're doing and do a good job, and you shouldn't ask them to do that for nothing. But also they shouldn't be, you know, making enough money to, you know, have 4 different fucking houses and whatever. Anyway, my point is that just like with prisons, because most prisons are private at this point, you know, which I think is a huge mistake for exactly that reason. But you know, back to the dog thing, is that if those dogs aren't there, you know, then people aren't going to adopt them. People don't adopt them, then it doesn't open up, you know, space. And so while most people think, well, you know, I'm doing the right thing by adopting a dog, you know, from an animal shelter for that dog. And for right now, yes, that is the right thing. The problem is that for the long term, you're keeping up a demand of a substandard dog, which is why they're there in the first place. Is that shitty breeding practices when you're taking dogs that have no business being bred, that have thin nerves, that have no drive, that have health problems, that have, you know, mental instability, they've got fucking shitty temperaments, and they're being bred over and over and over and filling these populations of shelters. And then you've got all these people who want to do the right thing and go adopt a dog. Well, what that does is that still creates demand, because you're taking these dogs that are being substandardly bred. And so if the demand shifts to, I'm only going to buy dogs that are very well bred, and that doesn't mean that they're papered. You know, if you go to Craigslist, papered, champion lines, purebred, like that doesn't mean a fucking thing. I'm talking about the actual dog individually, specifically by itself as a high quality fucking caliber dog. Then that's what it needs to be. And if our standards collectively as a society don't rise to that level, then you're going to continue to see this constant fucking in and out, and shelters being full, and whatever, in the 3.5 or so million dogs that are surrendered every single fucking year are going to continue to be surrendered. The reason people surrender dogs is what? Is because they're a pain in the ass. Why are they a pain in the ass? Because they typically have thin nerves, bad temperaments, fucking health problems, you know, mental instability, et cetera. When a dog is a super, super nice, well-rounded, genetically very, very vastly superior dog, people don't get rid of them, you know? And so where the problem lies is in the Craigslist fucking Facebook ads that, you know, $250 or $50 for, you know, pit bull champion line fucking dogs, and people, you know, continue to buy them or go to shelters and rescue them, is that is the demand that is driving shitty breeding practices. Where if everybody said, okay, enough, we're only going to take dogs that are really, really well bred from a specific and strategic working characteristic standpoint, even if it's just good temperament for a pet dog, is that we're only going to take those dogs. Now, it does suck for the existing generation or crop of dogs that exist, because they're going to get left out to dry, basically.
Yes.
And that sucks. But it's one of those, it has to get worse before it gets better, in that in the long run, you know, for years and decades to come, is that's going to prevent all of the subsequent generations of dogs that are constantly being in shelters and being euthanized and whatever, you know, from happening. So it's really, it's an either or. You can just keep fucking kicking the can and spinning the hamster wheel and keep doing what we're doing, or you can raise your standards and, you know, and change that. And again, prison is the same way. But
yeah,
that's very well said. Actually, I never thought about it that way. That makes a lot of
Substandard
sense.
humans.
Yeah, yeah, we're commodifying a shitty system that makes things worse, because we're trying in efforts of being humane and nice. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, that's 100% true.
It's 98%. I'm sure there's some bullshit in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably, maybe.
So now I'm going to read you guys my routing number and checking number. No.
All right, please do.
Sorry, I was on notes.
Let me get a pen. Yeah,
that was the note I was on.
nice.
So we did mention one of my notes. People keep asking about mic drop. Mic drop is not going away. So you people that are freaking out, no. We just wanted to make sure it was high quality when it came back.
That's right.
Yeah. Something that's weird, and I know something you deal with, and I got to thinking about it. I watched two things this past week. I had a friend put his dog down, and then I had a friend, his dog just passed away in their sleep. Now, I've put dogs down before, and I know you have to deal with this all the time. I'm always torn on putting a dog down, because it's almost, do we give them the same right we have as humans to where they can suffer, or do we give them relief?
Yeah.
You know, if like Mike gets to a bad spot and he's like, oh man, I got a couple months to live.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd Dr. Kevorkian in his ass, help him out, you know?
Yeah.
And while putting a dog to sleep is, some people say, inhumane, if you do it the right way, there's a shitty way to do it, where you drop them off at the vet, and there you go.
Oh, God.
There's my dog. Don't stay there with the dog. Don't do anything. You drop it off.
Dude, that's like something out of a fucking horror movie for me.
Dude, it happens.
Could you imagine?
It happens
Jesus. It
every
happens
day.
all the time. I'm sure it does.
People will take their dog in, check it in at the clerk. And that's it.
Oh, dude.
You gave me 10, 14 years of your life greeting me at the door. I can't give you another hour to sit here and make sure you go off peacefully. Instead, the dog sees the only person he or she saw their whole life is, oh, fuck, this dude's going to stick a thermometer up my ass, you know, and shit like that. The only time they ever saw this person is when something bad was going on in their life.
Yeah.
If they go to the same vet their whole life. And you essentially drop them off, limping or carry them in, and all right, bye. Now, there's the way a lot of people do it. They put them down, they stay there, they let them pass.
Yeah.
To me, that's not inhumane. That's giving relief to something that's suffering. Now, as humans, why is it bad why can't we do that to humans that are literally suffering? Yeah. There's no way to heal this person. They're suffering. I'm not saying, fuck it, shoot them in the head or slit their wrist, but there's nice ways where they could go off.
Oh yeah,
to sleep
Dr.
peacefully.
Kevorkian did that and got ultimately arrested for it. I agree. I think it just like with, and I would say for both dogs and people is that that's one very common question I get is when do you think it's the right time to put a dog down, right? And that's a tough question to answer for somebody else. My take, very simply, is that it depends. It depends on the person, and ultimately, like that's up to you. I can tell you what I do or what my checklist is, which I will. But ultimately, like it's you, it's your dog, it's your environment, it's your situation, it's your anxiety or mental grief that you're dealing with, and seeing a dog that inevitably. I mean, those are all things that you have to deal with. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's right or wrong. I mean, it's your dog. You do what you want. However, in terms of kind of how I look at it is that I generally let the dog tell me.
Yeah.
There's a difference, I think, between a dog that's terminally ill but doesn't seem like it versus a dog that looks at you like, fucking help me.
Yeah.
And to me, once it gets to that point where, they're not able to keep food down and they're dropping massive amounts of weight, or they're completely incontinent, or they can't even get their back end up enough to go to the bathroom, and they're soiling themselves and, vomiting water. Once it gets to that point where, you can tell they're fucking miserable. For me, that's when I say, okay, now it's time.
Yeah.
If a dog has bone cancer that I know is going to be dead in a few months, but seems fucking happy and healthy and vibrant most of the time, I let them, live until they're not, again, I kind of let them, look at me like, all right, man, I've had enough, and they do. Like, if you pay attention, every dog I've ever had or been around, and at this point, it's quite a fucking few of them, between the Warrior Dog Foundation and just all of the other dogs that I've had and been around, they're usually pretty intuitive and pretty good about telling you with their eyes and body language and presence that they're fucking done.
Yeah.
And so that's how I do it. And some dogs it's faster or slower, or again, it really depends on how they're carrying themselves for that. On the human side, I agree. I think you should be able to say, hey, I don't want to fucking be here anymore, and they should respect that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I can see from a litigation side or an ethics standpoint of, if you're not able to communicate that and, other people are making that decision, that's a tough one. But again, I think ultimately, it's up to the family and the doctors and everybody making a joint collective decision to decide, what makes the most sense for everybody, and that's going to change.
But like right now, say you're an organ donor.
Yeah.
It's on your driver's license, right? In your 30s, I would say once you've became an adult and you're in your 30s, well, I would say you could get terminally ill in your 20s and your teens, but say 30s, we'll just say a good 30s.
Yeah.
You're going to renew your license. On the license, do you want to be put down if you become terminally ill?
Yeah.
I mean, you could word it different than that, but
no, I like put down.
Yeah. But I mean, you're making that conscious decision before you're ever sick, before you ever think about it, because we're always invincible.
Yeah. I mean, typically I think they just use DNR, do not resuscitate, for that. And yeah, I mean, but even with that, there's still like, what does that really mean? Or what does it exactly mean?
And that's something me and my wife have had discussions about. She's like, do not resuscitate me. And I said, that's a tricky line.
Yeah. It's a really
because
tricky line,
there's situations where you can be in a car accident and shit, we have to resuscitate them just long enough to do this, and we can save their life.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like that's so gray. Like, do not resuscitate. It's like, well, what if there's a million what ifs? You know,
yeah.
like
so I had to actually talk her into taking it off her license because it's. I mean, yeah, if you're sitting there, you're brain dead, and we're really not going to be able to do shit for her.
Right. If I can't come back, I won't come back. But between now and then, hey man, I want a chance. Yeah. Like,
I mean,
want a fighting chance.
And she's asked me, well, what if something happens to you? Man, if them motherfuckers say, look, there's 99.9% he ain't going to make it. Bitch, I want that 0.01.
Right.
If they get to 0.01 and hey, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Pull that motherfucking plug. But if I have somewhat of a chance to make it, let me try.
Miracles
if not,
happen. Yeah.
let me go. Fuck
Anything
it.
could happen. Sure.
I know exactly what you're talking about with dogs. The 3 I've put down, I think it's 3, maybe 4. One of them was my oldest dog. She was 16 years old, a Shih Tzu. And it was horrible. She got, like you said, she couldn't even lift herself up.
Yeah.
My Mastiff, which pisses me off, the vet should have caught, had a bone cancer. And they told us it was just a vitamin deficiency a year ago, a year before she passed. But when they found it, she couldn't keep food down. She got to that point. And then one day, I don't know, I was laying on the bed and she drug herself up on the bed, laid beside me and just whined, you know, as I held her. And I was like, fuck. Couldn't eat, couldn't hold shit down. Yeah. So I was like, fuck. I'm going to do something I haven't done for any dog. And I cooked her a T-bone steak, cut that motherfucker up, made a baked potato. She ate that whole motherfucker.
A, yeah.
She fucking drug her body over there, ate that whole motherfucker. We took her in the next day, and she couldn't eat dog food the next morning, nothing like that. But she kept that motherfucking steak down. Yeah. And then, you know, it was just her. Again, you could tell she was done. Yeah. And my bulldog was the hardest dog. Those dogs are so stubborn. Yeah. That motherfucker was blind and would find your ass like Stevie Wonder and talking about, bitch, I ain't going yet. Yeah. But couldn't eat. Couldn't. I mean, it was just. But I mean, humans. Yeah. I think it was Marcus Luttrell had to put his dog down. That's what really got me thinking.
Well, and it was especially tough, I think, because it was on the anniversary of Operation Red Wings. You know, it's like, God damn. But, you know, but I do want to kind of reiterate that again, like that's how I do it. I'm not saying that that's how everybody should do it. I mean, I've certainly seen people where being around a dog that they know, you know, in the next few weeks or months is going to have to be put to sleep is too hard on them for them to deal with that. And if that's the case, do what you have to do. You know, I mean, it's your dog, it's your life, it's your dynamic, you know, that you have to live with and deal with. So, I mean, to each their own as it relates to, you know, when that right time is. I think for everybody, it's just when it feels like it's the right time is the best time to do it.
You know, I'm relatively anti pet in my own home. We don't have a dog. I want to get one at some point, but I live in an apartment, and I just don't think an apartment. Personally, my apartment is a good setting for a dog. It needs a field, but yeah. Anyway, you know, I told a couple buddies I wasn't really interested in getting a pet. I was like, my sister had them growing up. There it is again, sister. I think, you know, I don't think I'd be a very good pet owner. And they said, you know, part of owning a pet is like the emotional maturity that comes with it, how it grows you as a person. And like you underestimate now not having one. You think of the responsibility. You're going to have to clean up after it, get it food, right? You're going to have to take care of it. But all of that is like part of a journey that ultimately I think makes people a better person. That's why it's man's best friend. So that stuff's hard to deal with. And I wish people were, I don't know, man, I wish people took it on the chin a little more. Like it's, you know. It's good
there's some shitty people out there, but I understand where your buddies are coming from, but on the same token, to me, you shouldn't have to convince somebody to get a fucking pet either.
It's also a good point. Yeah.
I don't want to have to talk somebody into getting a fucking dog.
Yeah. You know, like, they don't want one. They don't.
I mean, to me, like it's the same with kids. Like even more so, you should talk them out of having them. Mm-hmm. You know, and most pets too. I mean, there's some really shitty fucking pet owners. I mean, when you see like people get down on their luck, they get evicted and they leave the fucking pets at the house and just bail on them. Like, yeah. I mean, there's just some shitty fucking people out there. No two ways about it. I mean, you know, we got the good end of the fucking deal with dogs. No two ways about it. I mean, it's a very one-way, selfish relationship in most cases. But
yeah,
there was a influencer. I think I sent you guys this story, and this bothered me that they put their dog down. Dog was perfectly healthy.
It's like a 10-year-old.
They put it down because they couldn't teach their kid how not to piss the dog off.
Yeah.
And the kid's literally doing shit to make the dog want to snap. And it's not like the dog just, hey, fuck you, kid, and just biting them. So we put it down. Bitch, why didn't you rehome that dog or do something? There was other
There's a 10-year-old
things.
dog. Yeah, that dog had been around before the kid.
I'd have gave that motherfucking kid away. That's what I hate kids.
That's right.
They stink. And they think they're good dancers. What's that, Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Been watching a lot of Dave Chappelle lately.
Chappelle's great. You guys doing anything for the 4th?
Your sister.
Yeah.
Funny. Thank you for that.
Fireworks, Zach.
Walked right into that. Yeah, that's good.
Backed into it.
All right. Fireworks? Are you doing anything?
I mean,
at this point, when this comes out, it will have already passed.
So what I did is I made a sparkler Bernard.
Yeah.
Talk like I already.
That's right. Yeah. Technically, you will have done it by now. So
have you ever done that sparkler bomb? Oh, dude, have you ever done it?
What the hell is a sparkler bomb?
I don't know if it's against the law for me to tell people how to make that online.
Oh, you're right.
It may be.
But I can definitely tell you off the air how to do it.
Yeah, YouTube definitely has a thing against firearms and explosives.
I
don't think you can actually tell us how.
I thought it was bullshit till I actually made one.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what it is? Like, just give us
a sparkler bomb.
Okay, so it's a bomb made out of sparklers? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
What's great about it, it took me 5 of them to figure out how to do it every time. But it's almost impossible to figure out, which is probably not now. It's probably way easier to find it now. But at the time when I was learning about it, you could go on Google and you couldn't figure out how to do it right. It's like every time someone would tell you how, shit would get taken off. Yeah. You know, like my old boss, when I was selling oil field equipment, we blew one up in his back acreage, and you could see the ripple through the pool. And the fire department came out and everything. Like, what the hell? And we made it so big because the others had failed. We made this one big to where it's just going to be cool. And this bitch went off.
Can you tell me how many sparklers?
I think we're getting close to the edge now to where.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Give me a ballpark number. How many sparklers goes into one of these things?
I'm not going to do that because
really?
it's 100% a bomb.
Right, okay.
It's not like
you're not messing around.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's blue. No, it sent an aftershock through a 40,000-gallon pool. That's some shit that can do some damage. It's cool as shit when you learn how to do it. And if you're doing it for fun, it's kind of like tannerite. Yeah. You know, if you're doing it in a controlled environment where it's fun to do, oh, that's fucking neat. But if
you throw it in the passenger window of an oncoming car, maybe
not cool, bro.
Yeah, maybe not. To answer your question, do I have any plans for the 4th? Not really. May go out on a boat or fucking swim in the pool. I mean, it'll be something around here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not a big fireworks guy either. I mean, to me, they're kind of boring at this point. I mean, there's something about blowing shit up with real stuff for a number of years that makes everything else kind of seem just like it makes a mess and is a pain in the ass. Sure. My kids they're not like fucking gung-ho about it. I mean, they like them, but they're not like, holy shit, we got to get fire. They don't really give a fuck
they're
either.
Not 5.
So this is the house I'm making a sparkler bomb at.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah, so because of that, that and just my schedule's fucking been busy with dogs like it normally is, and so no, I don't really have any fucking huge plans. But
yeah, me too. Going to the lake, nothing big, chilling. Be a quiet year.
Yeah, my wife won't even be in town, so I don't know what the fuck I'll do.
No,
you'd probably be at my house. Then.
Probably his house. Teaching one of his kids how to make sparkler bombs.
There you go. How to make sparkler bombs.
I'll get in. I got a weird question for you. And as a guy, and my wife's hit me up with this before, in the morning, why don't you just sit down to pee? I'm like, why? Apparently, the hardest controlled piss of any guy, I've talked to my brother and shit like that, it's usually that morning or after sex piss. Those are hard too.
Well, if you got morning wood, I mean, you're doomed, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean, sometimes you got to get that 45 slant, you know, to get your shit right.
Yeah, headstand.
Yeah.
Good headstand.
Yeah, you're like Steve Carell in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
But I can't be the only dude that's still half-ass asleep and just missing every motherfucking thing. Like, it sounds like the shit's going well, but you're half asleep and you end up pissing all over everything.
Right.
The next thing you know, you look up and your fucking foot's wet. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on that? I know some of my friends actually like, dude, I just got tired of the whole morning fucking pissing all over the back of the toilet. I just sit down on the first morning.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely sitting some mornings if you got to, take a morning crunch. But
yeah,
for
well, that's different. But I can't. I'm not that guy who jumps up to, oh shit, I got a shit and morning piss at the same. Yeah. My ass will slam my dick in the fucking seat or something. Fucking sit on my balls. I just can't bring myself to sit to pee for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not super into it.
Like I'd rather mop the floor.
I just go in the shower.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. So.
If that's legit, I'm going to try.
The unspoken rule nobody talks about.
Yeah. Do you imagine, though, your wife in there brushing her teeth and you're standing in the shower? What's up? Yeah. Just fucking
if you aim right, she won't even notice.
Well, just turn the shower on.
Yeah.
Stand just out of reach of the fucking of the shower and fucking, have at it. No, I mean, for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't have any trouble pissing in the morning. So it doesn't fucking go all over the place. So I don't piss until I'm ready to piss, I guess.
Yeah, you're the worst person to travel with ever, though.
Is that right?
Oh, this motherfucker can hold his fucking piss for like a tank of gas. In which that don't sound like shit till you see a motherfucker fill up his fuel tank and it says 580 to empty.
Right.
It's like, is that miles?
Yeah. How long is that going to take? Forever.
Yeah. It got to our California trip where I was like, hey, bro, I got to pee.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm decent. I can handle my own on a 7-hour trip or 2-3 stops. I'm good.
Well, what are you hitting at the gas station? You getting a bunch of drinks or soda or something? Because that'll ruin you.
I actually won't drink. I'm getting to where I'm going away from sodas now. I'm slowly transitioning off again.
Good for you.
But I normally, if I'm traveling, I will drink sodas just so I don't have to piss as much. If I drink waters and Gatorades, man, I'd have to piss all the time.
You'd be doomed.
Yeah, I mean, I drink quite a bit on the road. I don't know what it is with the fucking camel bladder of mine, but yeah, I mean, I drink a lot throughout the day. I mean, even more in the summer, obviously, when it's hot. But yeah, for some reason, I've always been able to hold it for a long fucking time, and not like just being stubborn and being a dipshit about it. Like it's just not a big deal. I don't know.
Right. Mine could be since I started all the shots I'm on and shit all the time. Yeah, is when my shit got really fucked up.
Maybe my prostate's just super healthy. I don't know.
Something. But this motherfucker goes forever without pissing.
I've been trying to drink more water, and that'll run into a road trip for sure.
You still doing push-ups on your walks, you dick?
I am.
All right.
I'm keeping up with it. I'm not doing as many as I was. Let me tell you, I did it for a couple weeks, and then I took a weekend off, and then I hit it the next day, and I was like, I had so much gas in the tank. I was like, dude, I can do 100 of these. Yeah. I did awesome. And then the next day I went out and was like, fuck, right back down. I thought I was the most hot shit, but yeah.
That's good. Keep it up.
Yeah. Not too much trouble with the road trips. Mike's got a lot of road miles on you though. You drive a lot, so
I do. I mean, like if I had to calculate the amount of miles I've driven, even just since getting out of the Navy, I'd say it's probably between 1.5 million and 2 million, probably. Yeah. Legitimately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I drive a ton, but I enjoy it too. I mean, even on road trips, like delivering a dog or whether it's with fucking kids, by myself, I mean, whatever. I like driving, but
clears the mind.
Yeah,
it really does, man.
Turn the fucking music on and just hit the road. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in the oil field, I'd drive all over the place, and I really miss, and doing car shows every weekend, I miss the long drives. Because, I mean, it gets to a distance to where I can no longer do anything crazy with stress that I have to deal with at home. Yeah. I mean, it's almost, I have to get to my stopping point to do anything to help anybody, but fuck it.
It's a real binary goal. Here's my start. Here's my finish. Just do that. Like, you don't have to think about it a whole lot. Just get there. And you can relax and enjoy the journey a little bit.
Yeah. Or you travel with a guy who won't let you pet the dog the whole way.
Yeah.
Or get out to pee, right?
Yeah. Like, here, don't pet this dog.
Yeah.
It's like setting a fucking bowl of peanut M&Ms on the counter and telling a 4-year-old, hey, don't eat those.
Yeah. Yeah. Dick knows I like dogs, and he's like, hey, don't pet him.
Right. You would be the 4-year-old in this situation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Well, I'm not the peanut, and the dog's the fucking 4-year-old, because that's a bad deal.
You held out. You didn't pet the dog. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, I didn't. That was tough.
You going to talk about your project you got going on, or you going to wait till it's done?
Oh, the AMG? Oh, I can't. Well, I can email it to you. I can email you a walk around of the car. So I bought a AMG GTR Pro in the United States. There's 150 of them. Huh?
9 of them.
Yeah, there's not many. There's especially the color mine is. Mine's wrapped, so it's purple wrap, but it's black underneath, and they're real rare and black. But I got the car, and I'll say this: I'll never buy a car from a YouTuber again. Not a YouTuber that tears their car up.
Hold on, you bought this from a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Can you say who?
I'd rather not.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I've spent people that know the car know the YouTuber. I've spent a lot of money already fixing bad work on it.
Okay.
So I don't want to advertise that, oh, this dude does great shit. And it might not be him. It might just be.
Is it a car YouTuber or like an influencer? So like a
car
kid who doesn't know what the
YouTuber.
fuck. Okay, so this is somebody who.
This is, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a dude that when you watch his videos, you're like, fuck, this is probably going to be a solid ass car. Now, granted, the car is great. And what I've fixed is just shit that shouldn't have been done.
Yeah.
I mean, the car, so a GTR Pro holds a 704 Nürburgring time factory.
Solid.
And it's shipped to their customers or to the dealership with that setup to where if you're a good enough race driver, you can take your car to the ring and run a 704. Now, why would you adjust that in any kind of fucking way is beyond me.
Yeah. I mean, unless it was like, I can't remember his fucking name. There's a dude that has a pista that lives by the
Robert Mitchell.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like talking about doing certain shit with the fucking coil springs and
yeah,
louvering the fucking wheels a certain way, like that's 100% track focused. Outside of doing that, I agree. Like I don't know why you'd ever fuck with it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they set it up to run a 704, and Rentec is actually right there. And Rentec had 2 pros at the time. They had a GTR Pro, and then one they set up just for the track. And they could only get half a second off the track version. But that's what they did. They took it, they dampened it, they knew exactly where, you know, bad spots were in the track.
Yeah. Huh.
Other than that, unless you're doing that every day, why would you fuck with that suspension?
Yeah.
You just don't mess. That's like me coming over to your pista. Yeah, I don't like this. I'm going to go on and lower this real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to let the air out your tires and all that.
I mean, that's why I didn't put bigger rims and tires on it.
That car,
yeah, I mean, it's just
perfect how it is.
Yeah.
Mine is tuned now with downpipe. Sounds good. I don't think it's at its full potential for running with the tune. So we've ordered 70 millimeter turbos, turbo intakes, and a new tune. So we should be right at 750 wheel,
which is goddamn fast.
Yeah, that's a lot of power. It's what, 870 or so to the crank.
I mean, as far forward as that engine is by comparison, yeah, probably close to 900.
Yeah.
I imagine.
And I've been asked, how does it feel? So the 488 is a great car. And my recommendations to anybody who drives a 488, never drive a Pista unless you're ready to buy. And that's not me sucking Mike off or any. If anything, it gives true props to the designers of that car. Because we were both the same way. You had a 488 for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we took, and there was a Pista there, and the dude was like, that car, pointed at the Pista, said it's twice the car of these.
We were both like, bullshit.
Yeah, and we're like, there's no fucking way.
Because the 488's a good fucking car.
It's a damn good car. Damn good car. So I'm not taking away from that at all. It's a fucking amazing car. You can't test drive a Pista. It's like an 812. Once a car, I say most people won't let you test drive anything over 250. It gets in that real weird category, which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
To where you just got to trust us, which is hard to do spending that kind of money. Mike got a Pista, and was it the day before it iced over that you got it, or 2 days before?
It was like, no, I mean, it was a few days, maybe a week.
I need to go back and watch that video. I think we were
a
little bundled up in those. Yeah, it was cold.
Well, the day before, we went and picked this car up, and the day before it got real bad, I think, is the day you told me, hey, you got to drive this fucking car.
Yeah.
And I go drive it, and there's ice and shit in the median still, snow or whatever, because it had started before it got real bad. I'm like, this motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah.
So I go drive it, and I brought it back, and I told him, I said, and I'm just looking at the car, and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, it's the first car I've ever fucking drove that I wouldn't change a fucking thing on it.
Wow.
And there's one thing that we both agreed that could use change, and you did it, and I think it's perfect. And it's nothing major. It's just open the flaps of the exhaust.
Yeah, because for the listener, the 3,000, or it's actually 3,200 RPMs. Anything under that, and there's these flaps in the exhaust that stay closed. As soon as you hit 3,200, they open, and it's annoying when you start it up and you're idling around because it's very quiet. Not that I'm not an obnoxious fucking exhaust guy the way I think most people are. I do like a good sounding exhaust, but I don't like it to be like, Jesus Christ, where you can hear it from 3 fucking miles away. But it was quieter even for me than what I like. And so start up idling around, where it was the most annoying was like on the interstate. If you're, there's a lot of cars and it's slower traffic where it's like 50, 60 miles an hour. And especially if it's an auto, it's going to be in 7th gear. And so you're flooding. It's like, it just keeps going back and forth between like, it sounds good. And then it just cuts out and then it sounds, and it was just fucking irritating, So it took, maybe an hour. It was a couple $100 at the dealership, and they just permanently open them. It's a mechanical and electrical thing that they can accomplish to where it's not throwing fucking codes or doesn't affect anything otherwise, and it just makes it sound good consistently. But yeah, that's the only thing I've done. I'm getting new tires on it this weekend. I've got, I think, a screw in the rear left, and they're at 5,500 miles anyway, so it's about time to replace them anyway. But yeah, I'll just get all 4 redone. But that's it, And I will say, I've put 4,000 some odd miles on it in a couple of months, and it's. I say it's ruined other cars. It hasn't, in that, I just enjoy it so much. Like I'm satisfied, which is a weird feeling, because I kind of worried that it was going to be, in some cases, that it would kind of ruin it, and I'd get bored because it's good, and but it hasn't. Like, I still, every time I get in it, I'm just like, God damn, I love this fucking car, and every time I drive it, it feels like a special experience, and every time I get out of it, I have a smile on my face, and I'm just like, motherfucker, I'm glad I have that thing, every fucking time. And yeah, it's great. It's ironically, it's gotten me way more interested in motorcycles than cars, though, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like I used to always look at cars. I'd always be watching videos and fucking looking at different mods and whatever. And with this, it's like I'm so happy with it that I just put that same energy and focus from a hobby standpoint into motorcycles, and have done some. You'll be seeing some new motorcycle stuff here over the summer for sure, especially next month. I've got a little surprise for everybody next month, but
yeah,
you already know about it.
Yeah, yeah. But what I was saying about the GTR, the piece, no, it's 100%, and that's why I was doing it. The GTR Pro is the closest I've been to a Pista outside of the GT3.
Okay.
Handling wise, power wise, no,
not there.
The Pista, if you want an all out badass car, and I've said this more times than I can fucking count, if you're ready for your end all fucking be all car and you're not going hypercars, get a fucking Pista and just be done with it.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't drove the 812. They say the 812 is good, but it don't handle the same. To me, the handling with the driving we do is more important than the speed, because I can get up to 180. If I can maintain 180, I'm still doing 180. It's now if I'm backing off, getting back on it, which sometimes we do, that's when you see the speed variation. But the handling is the most important part. Like I said, I had a 720. 720 should smoke my car, and which it did in a straight line. It smoked my car. Yeah. But when we were going to a meet, and he was like, okay, he texted me, you get in front, I'll follow you. I was slowing down so he could catch up. And for him, I don't do that. Every now and then we slow down, we switch places, right. But it's not like he's catching me or we're fucking hauling ass, and I'll slow down every now and then, which this past weekend I'm fucking glad I did at some point. But we'll slow down, say he's having fun with another car. I'm going to slow down if I see shit that just don't feel right around them. I don't want to be in that mix up. And as he does the same thing. But part of the reason I said that, I was showing cords on my tires, and I had one of his kids in my car and didn't realize it.
Oh, no.
But it's fixed. I fixed it.
That's good. Yeah.
The GTR Pro is an amazing car. I can't wait to feel it with that horsepower. Yeah. And part of the reason I haven't let you drive it yet is I didn't want you driving it with it feeling like it was feeling. It was fucking horrible.
All right.
It was bad. Now, I'd definitely say
Seal
you
of
need
approval.
to.
Yeah.
I'd like you to drive it, especially before we do the turbos. Cause,
I'd like to.
Because then we can do the, seat comparison, seat dyno.
Yeah.
But my car came with a wing that was huge. Had a cool look. I think it looks cleaner now with the stock wing back on. Yeah. Other than that, I want to change the turbos, and I'm going to kind of pull a U and leave the car alone if it does what I want it to do.
Yeah.
And just go
Sit
hard
on it
in
for
the
a
paint.
while. See how you feel.
Until I order a 296 or get a Pista.
I'm curious. There was this old study they did that they surveyed a bunch of Americans, and they found that there's like a general level of happiness with salary. They said like $80,000 to $100,000, you're kind of right in the goods. Because once you're making over six figures, you start getting into stocks and owning multiple properties. Stress starts to come in on your life a little bit. And then if you make less, you got to keep up. But they found this like range. They were like, this seems to be the spot for general happiness. When it comes to cars, do you think that's where the Pista is? Or do you think there might be something up past that you're just like, maybe this is the thing? Like maybe there's a level that I haven't ascended to yet.
The thing is that cars are so subjective to the owner.
Yeah.
What they like, what they do with them, what they want out of it. And that varies so greatly from person to person.
Yeah.
I would even say, not argue with that statistic. Obviously, polls are polls, but I think with people and salaries, it's kind of the same thing. I think, happiness is largely a choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is. Like, and it's way, way fucking easier said than done. Having said that, it's also easier to choose to be happy when you've got a fuck ton of money.
That's true.
But to your point, that also comes with a lot of extra bullshit also.
Yeah.
You don't need to look very far to see people who are obnoxiously wealthy that are absolutely fucking miserable.
Yeah.
But I've also met some people that are really wealthy that couldn't be happier too.
Yeah.
And that's in every spectrum of every tax bracket. So I think, money, I think, amplifies who you are. Mm-hmm. It really does. I think in both extremes, really, is that if you're a good fucking person and you know how to make yourself happy and you're balanced, having excess fucking funds is just going to magnify that. Mm-hmm. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're piss fucking broke, like that's going to reveal who you are as a person and what kind of attitude you have also, good and bad. If you're a shitty person with a fucking terrible attitude and you're piss broke, it's going to magnify that. If you have a really, really good attitude and you're piss broke, it's going to magnify that too, because people are going to see that, hey, even though this, and this is the case in your life, like you still are smiling, having a good attitude, fucking choosing to be happy with your circumstance. And I think with cars, it's hard to compare those two that same way, I think, because, again, like what Matt and I are very similar in what we want out of a car, and that it needs to be kind of well-rounded. Not kind of well-rounded, it needs to be very well-rounded. In that, yes, you need straight line speed, but like where most people focus primarily on that amount of horsepower, wheel horsepower, 60 to 130, 0 to 60 quarter mile times, for sure we're interested in those, and those matter. But that's one piece of a puzzle, and there's 4 or 5 other components that for both of us, I know, are absolutely every bit as important.
Yeah.
How many people are going to say, like, dude, the fucking brakes are amazing on this car? Like, you don't hear people talk about that normally. That's not in Motor Trend magazine most of the time. They're not talking about, look at the fucking brakes on this car. Like, most people don't really give a shit. Some people do, and they may mention them if it's like, has the most pistons of any fucking, or the biggest diameter of any carbon ceramic brake ever made. Like, yeah, they may mention it then, but just as one example, handling, to me, handling is the most underrated characteristic of a good sports car that in the general population gets, completely missed. Now, there are plenty of people out there, people that are on track and Porsche fanciers and Ferrari fanciers and certain pockets of the demographic, I think, that understand how valuable it is. For sure there is. But I think most people, like you go to car meets and stuff, most of the people there, and this isn't a knock on any of them, but you know, how many times do you overhear people talking about how well a car handles? Fucking never.
No.
You know, it's how fast is it? You know, never how well does it brake? How well does it handle? You know, how does it absorb speed? You know, what's the ride quality like?
Yeah, how's it feel?
Yeah, you know, and to me, like that's for me, and I've kind of learned that in having the Pista for a little while now is how important those things are to me. Like it's just magnified how important they are. You know, ride quality, handling, tires, grip, active aero, and downforce, and how well it sucks the road when you're really hauling ass.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that's what makes that car so special and so fun to drive is all of those things combined with the accessibility to the engine that makes it feel like it's not a turbo engine at all. It's very, very quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's fast, but it's also very quick. You know, it gets to these higher speeds, you know, quick and gives you a good punch right out of the gate. It reminds me more of a supercharger than it does, you know, a twin turbo, and it's just such a fucking marvel. But
yeah, and describing the feel of a car, it's elusive, right? It's easy to market on here's how fast it goes, here's how fast it does this, here's the numbers, but it's hard to say, hey, here's how it feels.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
we try to do it every show here. Yeah, it's impossible.
Ferrari is by far the best company. I'd say, well, I mean, maybe not by far. Porsche is
Porsche's
in there as well. Yeah. You know, those two companies, I think, get the experience more than any other automaker by quite a bit.
And that's worth saying something. Yeah.
You know, and I think it goes back to, you know, the lead engineers, especially the GT engineer. I can't remember his name for Porsche is very much that way, and all of Ferrari is that way. Where, you know, the look at the 296 that just came out is I think proof to exactly what we're talking about. Is that they took the feedback from the SF90, which is a monster of a fucking car.
Yeah.
And went back to a rear-wheel drive car, you know, that feels more connected to the road than an all-wheel drive car that costs 3 times as much. Mm-hmm. You know, so they didn't do that by accident.
I love the way they describe all their car as emotion.
Yeah.
It's emotion to the car. The car is an emotion.
Yeah.
You know, from feel, braking, power, everything we're talking about, quality,
right,
comfort. You know, and people don't realize, yeah, you want to be comfortable when you're doing 100+ miles an hour. Yeah. I don't want to be in the passenger seat trying to steer my car. You know, you want to have that hug, but then at 60 miles an hour, I don't want to be sitting here, oh shit, you know, moving around.
Right.
And,
yeah, I mean, to me, the best way to make that comparison analogy, you know, for the real world is the GT2 RS and the Pista. Mm-hmm. On paper, you know, they're pretty similar cars. On track, the GT2 RS is for sure the superior car. If you were to say, you know, you can have either one, that's such an easy decision for me. You know, the Pista is a far more enjoyable car because of all the things that we're talking about. You know, it doesn't take into account just the performance aspect of it. You know, because when you do that, it takes a lot of the experience out of it, and that's the problem with the GT cars across the board with Porsches, that they're awesome on the track and they're brutal and punishing everywhere else, you know, and the Ferrari isn't that way. I mean, I haven't tracked it. I plan on doing it. I may take it down to Coda, actually, the next Park Up Front track day that they have down there, I think is this fall. I thought about taking it maybe to Eagle Canyon or somewhere around here. I don't know, but you know, to me, like driving it around on the road reminds me of taking a sport bike out on the road. Like it feels like you're out on the track when you're in any kind of roads where there's not a lot of traffic. There's a little bit of curve and up and down and some straightaways, and it just, yeah, I mean, it makes you feel like you're a fucking race car driver all the time, you know, without any of the fucking Christ, this thing's loud, or Jesus Christ, it's stiff, or like, to me, if you're wincing before you go over, you know, a bump or you know, some smoothed out train tracks or something, like that's going to get old. You know?
Oh yeah. But yeah, if you got to brace yourself, like, oh shit, it's coming.
Yeah.
Where I think a lot of people, McLaren used to have a way better car back when Mercedes used to help with McLaren. And a lot of people don't realize there is a McLaren Mercedes. It's the, what is it, the SL5, I can't remember, but you can look it up. Then the car I bought is pretty weird, and a lot of people don't think of it because the simple fact, AMG is a Mercedes brand or branch, like the GT version of Porsche, except my car was 100% built in the GT plant or the AMG plant versus everything else that's AMG for Mercedes is just the engine and transmission. And then they're shipped over to Mercedes. What is it? One man, one engine is the concept. With the AMG car, I think all the AMG GT cars are hand built in the AMG plant.
Entirely.
Yeah. So it's their supercar.
Wow.
And you can tell. You can tell 100% when you get into it. What's really weird to me is when you go to the AMG GT63, which isn't hand built. It's built in the Mercedes plant, and you can kind of tell the differences when you look in the console area. There are some differences because different people are building it.
Right. Yeah.
But all in all, I would say the closest I've been to a Pista now is the AMG's close, but it's not. When I say close, I'm not saying it's right here.
Yeah.
You know, it's on its bumper. It's still got a gap, but it's way closer than the 488. Way closer. The 488, I was pretty much murdering that car to make it keep up. Yeah. And then, I mean, it was so fucking loud, but it sounded good.
Yeah.
But when you get out, you know, I can be like, how was it, huh? What'd you say?
What?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that fucking car, like if you're, like when we would drive together, like I couldn't even hear my own car over yours, you know, if I was anywhere near it. So fucking loud.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to get to, is that level of the Pista to where you can get comfort, handling, braking, everything all in one package before I just say, fuck it, I got to get a Pista. Yeah. But I want to know if there's other cars out there that'll do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I think there is. You got to find them. Yeah. And the bad part is no one will just give them to me.
That's part of the fun, the hunt, right?
Yeah,
you got to find it. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the beauty of the Pista that way is that's how it comes.
Yeah.
You know, is that I don't know of another car that you can say that where it's like, dude, this is exactly how I want it. You know?
Don't touch it. Other than I would do the exhaust flaps for, we'll just say it's $400.
Yeah.
It's a $400 mod.
Yeah.
Woo.
Easy.
Especially in the supercar world or exotics. Yeah. When you hear $400, I can't buy a tire for $400 fucking dollars. Yeah. So it's really amazing. And I would say in our experiment to find the best car, that's our constant right now, is the Pista.
That's the gold standard.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you're doing an experiment, you got to have the constant to try to get back to it. And that's it. Yeah. I mean, motherfucker is just phenomenal. I would say in the bike world right now, it's the Aprilia.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's weird to say because I love my BMW. You love your BMW. But that fucking Aprilia. Yeah. It's kind of like the Pista. I've rode that bike one time.
Yeah.
And I rode it a good distance. Yeah. But I rode it one time there, one time back, and I hauled ass back. I hauled ass there too. But the Pista is stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
The Aprilia is the same way.
Yeah. Because it's that way without doing anything to it. You know, the BMW is good now.
After you've done.
You got to do a lot of shit to that.
Yeah. What, $5,000 worth of shit.
I mean, a full exhaust, a fucking stage 2 tune, IAT, flap delete. You know, it really kind of needs to be adjusted a little bit suspension wise. You can move the rear wheel back a little bit without putting anything extra on it. You can lower it a little bit in the handlebars and in the rear suspension than what it comes, you know, factory. For you and I don't think you really need or would necessarily want to do that because it's already a lower bike than the Aprilia to begin with. But, you know, in adding a different chain and sprocket, a lighter chain and a different sprocket helps with some of that initial punch too. But you know, similarly, like it's a very, very good bike, but it is not the same as the Aprilia. I mean, it's really not. I've ridden both of them back to back several times, and you know, the Aprilia is without question the better bike. You know, off the showroom floor. It's just it's so fucking torquey and so quick right out of the gate. Whereas the BMW, I mean, you really need to be up in 7,500, 8,000, 8,500 even to really get it to feel on the same level with pull wise as the Aprilia. Whereas the Aprilia at 5,000, it's doing that, you know. And I would even say maybe closer to 10,000 in the BMW to really get it at its peak horsepower and torque and pull, which, you know, is not uncommon. The Aprilia's max power and torque is up there also, but it's so much higher down low, you know, than the BMW that it's a night and day difference. You know, it really reminds me of a supercharged engine. It just, that fucking punch is immediate in that fucking thing. The wings with the downforce, the handling, you know, it's a much better handling bike. And you know, back to the kind of pista comparison is that just the experience and the feeling that you get is so much more connected to the road on that bike than any other ones I've ridden. And fucking the last year I've ridden quite a few. I've had quite a few different ones and didn't have them for very long because they just didn't do what I wanted. And that's kind of the irony is that, you know, I started with the BMW and I got, you know, a bunch of other ones that didn't compare to that. And then I got the Aprilia on a couple of different, you know, people said, yeah, you ought to try one of those if you like the BMW. And I did, and it's kind of ruined the BMW a little bit, you know. But I do want to really dig into a high-level Ducati and see if it is as good as people say it is. It's hard to imagine, and I know we said this about the 488, right, until we drove the Pista. I do have that same feeling, is that it's really hard to imagine that riding a, you know, either a V4R or a V4 SP or even a fucking Superleggera, that it could be that much better than an Aprilia at this point because it's just so fucking good, you know. But maybe it is.
All I know is if you're like, man, fuck this Aprilia, you'll bring that bitch to my garage.
I mean, I can't imagine being that way, you know. I just can't.
It's
especially for the money. I mean, to me, you know, any of the Ducatis that I mentioned are going to be a lot more expensive. I mean, one of them's 3 times. I mean, that Superleggera is a $100,000 motorcycle. You know, the V4 SP is a $40,000. The V4R is a $40,000 bike. You know, the Aprilia, all things, you know, out the door is about 27, 28,000, which is not cheap. You know, but for what you get compared to those other bikes, you know, are those other bikes $13,000, $15,000 more? Is it worth that? I don't know how it could be. I goddamn sure want to find out, you know. But.
Yeah. It's crazy that the Italians are very good. I would say Italians and Germans are very good at selling people on less is more.
Yeah.
They're the king of, hey, we're going to build this car and we're going to sell you this one for 300 grand. It's got everything on it. And this is the same with bikes.
Yeah.
This has everything on it.
Yeah.
We're going to build this one. We're going to add 15 horsepower. We're going to take half the shit that this one had on it. We're going to pull it off.
Yeah, and charge you twice as much.
We're going to charge you twice as much, though.
Yeah.
How many you want?
Yeah.
All of them. I'll take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get more than one? Yeah, and it works. It fucking works. If I were to try that to walk in, say with plumbing, check it out. I got this toilet. Normally, I'd put a toilet seat on here. I'm going to sell it to you double right now. You don't get a toilet seat.
That's right.
Here's the beauty. Never have to worry about putting it down.
Yeah. You have to clean it.
You don't have to clean it.
It can't break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that shit.
Yeah.
Be talking about, I'm selling $700 toilets right now.
Watch out. You'll be a toilet manufacturer before you know it.
The beauty is you don't no longer need a bidet because your ass is going to touch the water sometimes.
That's right.
I will say the Aprilia, the new one, the 2021 factory with the electronic suspension, which I think is great for the road. I don't think you need it for the track because the track is constant. Like if you're just going to track a bike, I think the RSV4 1100 is by far your best bet because it's $6,000-$7,000 cheaper, and a track is going to be constant, so you can dial that suspension into whatever the track is, and it's probably better, honestly, that it's not, you know, changing while you're driving on a track. But you know, to me, the mid grade bang for your buck, I think the RSV4 factory, you can't beat it for what you get at that price, bang for your buck, and the caliber of bike, you know, that would be the one bike I would keep sport bike wise if I had to. Throttling the budget back, like if you're saying, hey, I need sub 20,000, to me the GSXR 1000R, same thing, hands down, is by far your best bet for all things being equal. That is by far the best bike in that segment, the, you know, primarily Japanese sub 20K category.
Yeah, they've nailed down the handling on that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's at BMW level, but for the money market, it's above the rest for sure.
I mean, for me, I felt like the GSXR actually handled better than the BMW.
Yeah.
I really did. Or I do, I guess. It's not that I did. I do. I think it has in terms of grip and being glued to the road and giving you the confidence to lean and corner faster, I think the GSXR is a better bike than the BMW, honestly. But
yeah,
the BMW felt much more refined and higher quality in terms of the shift cam technology and just the way that it rides. I guess it just seems like a better machine, and it is.
Yeah,
you know, engine wise, it's a better engine. I don't know that it's. I would say it's probably not quite as reliable, and the GSXR actually has a little better power and torque down low than even the BMW. That's my biggest bitch with the BMW, I think, is that you have to wring it out a little more than I like.
Have you took all your safety stuff off?
Yeah.
Running it on the manual settings now?
Yeah,
it still has that weird, almost like a turbo lag.
Yeah, it's like the dead spot that comes from the factory is obnoxious.
Oh, it's way worse than when it's tuned.
But even when it's tuned, yes, you know, up until, you know, from that 5,000 to 8,500, 9,000, it just doesn't punch as hard as I think it should for a leader bike. You know,
every time I've got mine to do like good wheelies, because if I'm going to pull mine up on one wheel, I don't want it to be a gradual thing.
Yeah,
I want it to be a jerky deal so I can balance it.
Yeah,
and I always rev it real high, let off, and then pop it again.
Yeah,
and it's such a pain in the ass. The GSXR you had, I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I mean it'd pop right up for sure. The
Aprilia.
Yeah.
No. That motherfucker, you just...
Yeah, I mean, that does it without trying, you know. And, you know, I think it's largely torque because, well, number one, the Aprilia is an 1100.
Yeah.
Vice you know, 999 like the rest of them.
Yeah, and it's a V bike, right?
Yeah, V4. Whereas, you know, the BMW's in line. You know, one of the interesting things, too, though, is the BMW is 82 and change foot-pounds of torque. The Aprilia is 90.
Really?
Yeah. You know, so I mean, that's a very noticeable difference in those lower power bands. I mean, that's why you get so much punch down low. It's about 12 to 14 horsepower more, and you know, 8 foot-pounds of torque more, which you know is significant and very noticeable in that platform. But
yeah,
great bike. Like I said, I still want to ride a Ducati and see what kind of comparison that provides, but.
There's still the MV Agusta too, which they're really rare, and they don't have the good one out anymore. If they do, they're stupid.
Yeah,
I can't remember the number. They're a cool design bike though. I like the Ducati single side swing arm.
Yeah, that's
always cool. Yeah, Aprilia's not single side, is it?
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, but it's aluminum, whereas the well, like the Superleggera is it's carbon fiber everywhere. It's a carbon fiber swing arm. A carbon fiber chassis, carbon fiber wheels. The thing weighs 335 pounds.
See, I like anything that's all carbon fiber. Which I'm wondering if, I was thinking this the other day because I've been looking at cars again. Am I ever going to get tired of carbon fiber? I don't think I will.
Not unless they come out with fucking unobtainium fiber, you know, some kind of other fucking material that you like better. I mean.
Well, I mean, Damascus has a cool look to it. It's still fucking heavy. Yeah. It's a cool look, and then it wears out.
No, I mean, to me, that's the beauty of carbon fiber is it's, you know, it not only is it really cool looking, it's the lightest, strongest fucking composite material that you can combine those things. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have the new forged carbon, which that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I think anything with the word carbon in it.
Just
Like,
sounds
that's why I like smoking.
I mean, I remember years ago when where they first really started utilizing carbon fiber was in racing bicycles. Mm-hmm. Trek came out. Lance Armstrong back in the early 2000s had all carbon fiber frame bikes that you could lift with one finger. They weighed nothing.
Yeah.
And from there, it's neat to see that they've incorporated it in a lot of other technologies. What's interesting, Ducati as an example, their carbon fiber manufacturer is actually here in the United States.
Really? So they build it here and ship it back versus we get everything built there and shipped out?
Well, the carbon fiber that they get comes from an American manufacturer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the carbon fiber, it's all. I tried to heat some one time thinking like it was plastic or a urethane because I'm like, it's resin.
Yeah.
So if I heat it, I should be able to bend this.
Of course, yeah.
No, I burnt the fuck out of myself is what I did.
Yeah. It's a weird material for sure. I mean, it's the biggest downside is it's expensive, and if you crack or chip it, it's almost impossible to repair.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much have to replace it unless it's really, really fucking minor. But
Yeah.
if it's a structural thing, you have to. That's the bitch of having swing arms and chassis made out of it, is if you drop it and fuck any of that up, man, you got to replace it, and that shit tens of thousands of dollars. So
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not cheap.
Yeah.
But it's good shit.
It looks cool. That's what's important. I mean,
Yeah.
especially the matte finish. I love the matte carbon fiber. I think that's fucking.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like that. We saw a black pista with all matte everywhere.
Yeah.
But I do like the contrast you were talking about to where I think on my car, the outside is all gloss and the inside is matte,
okay.
which is a cool look. But like you were saying on the Ferrari, have the engine bay, was it gloss?
Yeah.
And then everything else matte. I think that would be badass.
Yeah.
And I do like the tinting, the way they're color tinting some of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Some I've seen green and blue. It's pretty neat. But
Yeah, the old Audis, Audi used to take in between the weaves, they'd run a blue thread, which a lot of people don't realize.
That's pretty
that.
rad. Yeah.
They'd run a thread through it,
that's cool.
through their weaves. And it wasn't like a carbon fiber special. They had, as they're weaving the carbon, it just had a blue thread and it crisscross. So when you clear it and you couldn't see, I think it stopped in 17 or 18, but you could take a flashlight and when you're looking at it, the blue is just dancing
Oh shit.
in
That's
there.
really neat.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The more you know.
I want to know, summer in Texas, when are you guys getting out and riding? Sunsets? I mean, so from like 7:30 to 8:30, it's pretty awesome, at least over in Irving. What are you guys doing? You getting out and riding at all? I mean,
Yeah, I've been riding every day,
okay.
multiple times a day. For me, first thing in the morning or at dusk. Usually, first thing in the morning is better. It's still a little cooler because it's been cooler at night.
Yeah.
Whereas even at night, like the road's still really hot and it radiates up pretty bad. But
Yeah.
but I've even been going out in the middle of the fucking day. When it's like right now,
Just
when
going
it's just
for it. Man.
god awfully fucking hot. I just keep it short. I'll do 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just a quick short ride, do a fucking loop, and for me it's just because I didn't grow up riding motorcycles, and I'm so far behind the power curve. I try to get as much experience doing it as I can, so that I can really evaluate the bikes and push them to their potential, at least to the best of my ability, which again is not a high level, but I just try to get better, and I enjoy it. So those two things combined has me riding every day, a couple times a day in most cases. But
Matt, you still getting out?
Yeah, we rode Sunday.
yeah, went for a nice long Indian Challenger ride around town, which was great.
Yeah.
About 80 miles we did that day.
Yeah,
I got sun.
yeah.
My shit turned
I was
red.
going to say, you look like you got a little sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. I mean, and as long as we were going, it was fine. I mean, even in the middle of the day, especially on the Indian, because it's a fucking dome helmet and T-shirt, not fully jacketed and full face helmet like you are on the sport bikes. But goddamn it, the stoplights.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah.
You're just sweating bullets, I bet.
it's brutal.
Oh.
There was a good, I don't know what it was, but we were going through a semi-cold front, and it just felt like every now and then someone turned on the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And then I'd never been happier to go through rain.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, it's raining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
We hit a rain spot for just a couple of minutes, but Yeah, it cooled off 20 degrees like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking sprinkling. It was pretty nice.
Running through sprinklers in your kid. That's great.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Nothing like it at all.
What else you got, Zach?
Is Playboy a classy magazine?
Well, it doesn't exist anymore.
Did you say classy or classic?
Classy. Do they not make Playboys anymore? Really? I remember back
2 years ago, right?
Yeah. Back when I was working at the radio station, they flipped it so they weren't going to do nudes anymore, but they were going to do tasteful photos. And that's when a bunch of old radio guys brought up a bunch of their old Playboys and just like set them out on the coffee tables at the station. Like, hey, if anyone wants to flip through these, you know, get a piece of history. And I'd never actually seen a Playboy in person. And
Jesus Christ, what's
man,
going on?
The internet, right? It's this free pornography. I mean,
I would say that Playboy's way classier than what you can see online.
Well, that's the thing. I think the internet, at least a lot of people who never had it, and you know, pearl clutching evangelicals think Playboy's like Hustler. And it's it's like Sports Illustrated.
When you talk about pearl clutching and talking about naked women, it makes me think of something totally different.
Totally different.
That's right.
But here's the kicker, though. And here's where Playboy or Hugh Hefner don't get any props.
Okay.
They were the king of what is now Photoshopped Instagram modeling.
Okay.
Because I don't know about you, but I've seen and met, I would say, 7, 8 Playboy models. Mm-hmm. And they don't look nothing like they did in the magazine.
Yeah.
You're looking at it like, where'd she go, bitch?
Yeah. False advertising. To answer your question, yes, classy. I think, and that's the degradation of our society is why Playboy doesn't exist anymore, is because it was classy, and people don't want classy anymore, really.
No,
they want trashy.
They want to be able to see people's kidneys. Yeah. That's important.
Well, what I found, and most people would say, oh, you're full of shit. Playboy actually had good reporters and damn good articles.
Yeah, it did.
Like real good stories.
Yeah.
In there.
Well, and it would talk, you know, cars and watches,
everything,
and boats,
all kinds
and
of shit.
sports. And, I mean, it was a good magazine.
I would say the DuPont registry.
Yeah.
But with women in it.
With hot bitches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not saying all Playmates are ugly.
No.
I would say half of the ones I met were and then the other one's like, damn girl, what's up?
Yeah.
So I snagged a couple from the station. I remember taking them home and showing them to Christine, and she said the same thing. She's like, I kind of thought these were going to be trashy. I was like, they're really not. It's actually a cool magazine.
Yeah, pick up
well-written
Hustler.
articles. Yeah, exactly. Versus Hustler, which is a whole
Hustler
other
or
beast.
Penthouse. Go get one of them hoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like a bitch had a baseball bat giving birth to it.
There was a time.
Damn.
There was a time I was working at a Barnes & Noble. We had a dude that came in every week and bought a Hustler and a High Times magazine, and I was like, that guy.
That dude living his life. That's what he's doing.
I had so much respect for that man. It's crazy.
Yeah. 100% classy.
Yeah.
That's what got me into cars and bitches.
Playboy?
Playboy.
I was just saying, did you have a couple back in the day? I mean,
a couple.
Hidden in the woods?
I have years.
I have I didn't live in that time. What was it like?
Anybody in any American males in our age bracket, there was a box in their fucking dad's closet or somewhere in their house that had fucking nudie mags in it.
That was the goods.
100% sure.
Yeah.
You know, almost everybody. I mean, every one of my friends, their dads had fucking Playboys that we would raid, and yeah, I mean,
I got at least 4 or 5 years of every one of them in a box somewhere at my house now.
Do you really?
Sure.
Keep them?
Yeah, especially when I heard they were going out. Like, I wouldn't even look at them. I'd take them. I'd know what it was, and I'd put it up.
Yeah.
And I have them because one day they may be worth something, like a baseball card back in the day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We trading Playboys like NFTs and Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you this February 2017.
For that centerfold of fucking what's her tits.
Yeah. I will sell you this naked picture of this woman who has nothing to do with this transaction for this much money. It's
exactly.
perfect. Yeah. Playboys. Man, oh man.
Shit, that's about it today, ain't it?
You got it.
Guys, thanks for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Punch the notification bell so you know when new shit's coming. There is going to be more than just this podcast coming out, too, on Patreon.
That's right.
Hi, bitches. Check us out, Patreon, iTunes, Amazon.
Hallmark.
Yeah.
Hallmark channel.
Your mom's bathtub. Zach's sister's car. Yeah, we're everywhere. All right. Have a good one. Peace, bitches.